The first thing I noticed was how quiet it was. Not peaceful quiet, the other kind. The kind where you understand without being told that noise isn't something that happens here. I told myself to act normal, whatever normal was. I was a traveler who'd come somewhere unusual with a woman he'd met in Bangkok. That was the story. I was going to stick to it until I understood what was actually happening. Maya was walking like she owned the place. Not arrogantly, just comfortably. The way you walk somewhere you've been 100 times. That was when I started cataloguing. The bungalows looked like a resort. Thatched roofs, timber walls, covered walkways. But the gate behind us had closed, and I hadn't seen a reception desk, a check-in, or a single other guest. She showed me the room. Bamboo furniture, a made bed, a shuttered window looking out at jungle. She said, "You'll be comfortable here." Not a question. A statement. I said it was fine. I thanked her. She smiled and left. And I heard, I might have imagined this, but I'm fairly certain I heard, the sound of something latching on the other side. I tried the door. It opened. I don't know what I'd expected, but the fact that it opened didn't make me feel better. It just meant the lock was somewhere else. I sat on the bed, and I made myself think slowly. I'd gone willingly. No one had forced me. I had no injuries and no restraints. My phone had no signal, but it still worked. If anyone asked, I'd come here voluntarily. That was the framing they'd have. That was the framing I needed to complicate. I tried the window. It opened, dense jungle, 30 meters of manicured ground, then a wall. The kind of wall you don't build around a resort, too high, no handholds. I filed that away. After maybe an hour, I opened the door again and went out onto the veranda. No one stopped me. That told me something. Either they weren't worried, or they were watching too carefully to need to. There were 4 other bungalows, all closed up. I listened at the nearest one, nothing. Then, very quietly, I thought I heard breathing. I wasn't sure. I moved on. At the end of the veranda was an open sala, rattan chairs, a table, a kettle, the kind of setup that says, "We're not trying to hide that people live here. We just haven't decided what to tell you about them yet." I followed the path around the side of the building. Outside, a garden walkway between bungalows. I could see the compound wall about 40 meters away, and beyond the wall, nothing but jungle. No road, no power lines, no sign of anything. There was a man at the far end. He saw me. I nodded at him, the way you nod at someone in a corridor you're not supposed to be in. Like I had every right. He didn't nod back, he just watched. I went back to my room, sat down, breathed. What I knew. Walled compound, jungle, 1 exit I'd seen, at least 2 staff. What I didn't know. Why I was here, who else was here, and what Maya's actual role was. That was when I saw the bag. It was under the bed. Not my bag. A canvas drawstring bag, faded green. I hadn't put it there. It hadn't been there when Maya showed me the room. Someone had come in while I was outside. Inside was a passport. British. I opened it to the photo page. The man in the photo was older than me, 40s, dark eyes. He looked directly at the camera the way people do when they've been photographed a lot at. No expression, no tension. The name on the passport was David Marsh. I didn't know who David Marsh was, but someone had put his passport under my bed, which meant either it was a message or a warning or a mistake. And none of those options were good. I checked the stamps. Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, repeated over 18 months. The last entry stamp, Thailand, 3 months ago. No exit stamp after that. He'd come in. He hadn't left. I put it back, exactly where I found it. Sat down, made my face do nothing, because if someone had put it there for me to find, I didn't want them to know I'd understood what it meant, and if it was a mistake, then I didn't want them to know I'd seen it at all. Maya came back 20 minutes later with 2 cups of tea. She sat down like someone visiting a friend. She asked how I was settling in. I said fine. I asked how long we'd be staying. She smiled. She said, "That depends." I asked what it depended on. She looked at me for a moment, just a moment, and then she said, "On what you're here for." I said I was a traveler, just a traveler. She nodded like she'd heard that before. After she left, I sat in the room as the light shifted through the shutters. I thought about David Marsh. I thought about what that depends meant. I thought about the gate closing behind the car, and I thought, whatever this is, they've done it before. I didn't sleep. I made a plan instead. Step 1, find out who else is here. Step 2, find the exit they don't want me to use. Step 3, don't let Maya know I'm looking for either. In episode 4, I found out who David Marsh was, and I understood why no one had come looking for him. Episode 4 is up next.